Salutations. Welcome back. They're waiting for you in the lobby. I heard you acquitted yourselves most adroitly.
Bravo, bravo! Well done. Thanks to you all, I now have full ownership of this card house. And Mr. Chang is on a flight heading west.
Things are changing already.
But that reminds me. Vincent.
Yes, sir.
We'll no longer require your services.
Huh?
Security is something we're more than capable of handling ourselves.
But...
Given your pass at the desk.
I see. Yes, sir. It was a privilege working with you fine people.
Thank you, Vincent.
After taking some time off, I was ready to go back to work. I've always had a good connection with the Del Perro police. Occasionally, they will request my agency for some of their cases. When Vincent called me, I was happy to help. After all, he did assist me with my father's case.
Wouldn't advise going inside. Not with your reputation for depravity and general aversion to the law. In all seriousness, your countenance is quite discernible, and there are certain of my consociates who would take it upon themselves to exercise their right to lethal force were they to encounter you in person. But it's good to meet you, my friend. Vincent, the LSPD's newest recruit. Let's take a walk. Relax. I'm a cop, but I'm not a cop. This is just where the universe put me right now. I mean, I have my path and you have yours. And quite frankly, I don't give a damn about your antics out there. In fact, we may be able to assist each other. I mean, check this out. You see that misguided individual? How do you think he's gotten away with selling drugs in front of that burger shop very conspicuously for 10 years now? In front of the largest department in the city. He cuts them in.
Effenberger, you copy? Yo, Effenberger.
I copy.
Worst last name ever, dude. I mean, effing what? Anyway, when you got 5, we all need some effing coffee down here on Dick's. And don't forget the effing cream and sugar.
Copy that. Oh, these motherfuckers. I'm out here getting coffee for cops on the take. And that guy over there is only a modicum of the issue. There's a new cartel running a large-scale cocaine operation out of the Cluck and Bell factory in Paleto Bay. And be in no doubt, the cops, they're not only turning a blind eye, they're actively facilitating. If you ask me, the cartel and the cops can both go to hell, preferably on the back of the same bullet. I'm talking about a surgical strike, man. Taking out the whole operation. That's why I came to you. Let's go somewhere a bit more unfrequented. I understand your motivation in these matters. If you raid that factory, anything you find is yours to keep. This isn't about the drugs for me. This is about these assholes running the biggest protection racket in the state. That's the kind of status quo I cannot abide. As far as my part, I could provide all the intel you need. Records, names, locations. We will need to educate ourselves on the factory, though. Gather materials so you can attack it with style and aptitude.
Ding fucking dong, Officer Effenberger. We're effing falling asleep over here. Get us some effing coffee.
Copy that. I'm on my way. Think about it. If anybody deserves to be fucked with, it's these guys. Can I count you in? Excellent. Now on to the first order of business. Acquire some funds. And fortuitously, we have files on some money laundering operations not far from here. The department allows them to operate for a share of the profits. I suggest we take a more proactive stance. Time to do what you do. I'll call you. Let me take these fucking assholes their coffee.
If Vincent is right, and the cartel are operating in Palito Bay, then we will need to be extra careful if we are going to have any chance at stopping them.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. Let's go. Nope. A nope. A nope. A nope. Definitely nope. A nope. Nope. A nope. Nope, a nope, a nope, a nope, definitely nope, a nope, nope, a nope.
By the way, I will be able to assist you with my LSPD privileges. Accessing their database and communications is a perk of the job. One that will prove useful throughout this venture, I'm certain. So, based on your considerable reputation, this is just a normal day at work for you, huh?
It felt good to be back, but I am worried about Vincent and what he has uncovered. Exposing this case is going to have a lot of people upset. I fear this might not end well. We are going to need hard evidence. We still need a way into the factory, and that's not going to be easy.
This is a solid fund to use on the rest of our planning efforts. The first leg of which I'll get to work on right now. I'll be in touch. let's discuss a potential way into this place. The cartel are paying off employees of Cluck and Bell to use their factory as a cover. There are a couple things we'll need in order to solidify my current infiltration plan. Let's move. I have a checklist for today's operation. Number 1, a laptop from a Cluck and Bell employee on the cartel's payroll. It's got critical intel for our operation. Number 2, a hacking device which is going to help us pilot a train. And that brings me to number 3. We need a train. That's how we're getting into the factory. Okay, let's get the guy with the laptop. I just sent you a CCTV image of the guy. This is a critical piece of intel. The cartel have paid off multiple Cluck and Bell employees to look the other way while they use their business as a cover for the manufacture and distribution of... This laptop's gonna give us a window into their schedule. Excellent. This should tell us exactly when we need to hit the factory. Alright, let's get ourselves a hacking device. If we're gonna do this, there's a lot of computer systems we're gonna need to override along the way. And this is our ticket. Now fair warning, the guy who owns this is a pretty serious criminal element. Major hacker. The LSPD won't touch him, but we will. He operates out of a terabyte command truck. I'm sending you a picture of it now. My advice to you is, locate his drones. They're tethered to his security. Take them down before you proceed. You got it? Excellent. That device is our key to commandeering the train, and other fun besides. The cartel occasionally takes train deliveries at the factory. We're gonna steal one of the trains they use, and roll in right under their noses. have some important yet enjoyable decisions to make. On the one hand, you need to acquire your preferred weapons and gear. On the other, you need to acquire your getaway vehicle. We'll need to steal both. These can't be traced back to us. As I was saying earlier, we need weapons and we need equipment. That's armor and masks. We don't want anyone at the Cluck and Bell factory catching a glimpse of your memorable face. This group may put up a solid fight, but their weapons and equipment will work the challenge. location now. Sabotage the trucks, find the key card, wipe the CCTV, and get out. Must be around there somewhere. CCTV's wiped. As far as the cartel know, you were never here.
Fuck you, Vincent!
You've been compromised. Take out those guards immediately or they'll report you to the cartel.
Pinche puta! Hey, fool, don't give me a reason to come over there and fuck you up. Fuck you!
You know what we need? Crates to hide in. Find whatever's transporting them and bring them to the lockup. By the way, we may share a goal, but I'm fully aware we do not share a motivation.
I've always liked this city. I love how everyone is different here, with their own stories. I'm not about to let some cartel ruin what we have worked so hard to build. This is my city. It's your city, and we will fight to keep it our city.
How you doing in that box? Under the circumstances, your customary silence is a little concerning. Should I have added air holes? Clap twice if you're in trouble. Okay, good. Now remember, when you burst out of that crate, you'll be in the heart of that operation. How you choose to use the element of surprise is up to you. This is it. Good luck. To punch fatal holes in the hull of this operation, we need to leave with two things, their product and their cash. To clarify, steal it all. You acquired should grant you access to restricted areas in the factory, including the basement. secured the product, start looking for the safe. We need to get the safe codes off their computer system, so you're gonna need to access the office. There should be a key. Device is showing blue, you're headed in the right direction. Red, you're not. Once it's caught the connection, find the next one. Well executed. Time to go. Excellent work. Mission accomplished. Now to the vital matter of payment. As I'm sure you can appreciate, there are certain transactions I can't be party to as an officer of the law. But if I've learned anything from my associates on the LSPD, it's how to look the other way. Now remember, as far as I'm concerned, you can hit that factory as often as you'd like. As long as you're giving me reasons to keep looking the other way, I'm happy. As you can see from my choice of transportation, my fortunes at the LSPD are also improving. Just got these babies in, fresh off the line. Guess who picked one up? Until next time, well, let's disassociate. Okay, cartel members down, corrupt cops in the hot seat, and the factory in shambles. Sounds like a successful raid to me. Any cops that were on the scene will have a fair bit of explaining to do, to say the least. Look at you cleaning up this town.
When I started my agency, it was to find lost and stolen items. Along the way, I did find something that I thought was lost. Or maybe it found me, but it's something I hope no one ever loses. And that is a heart for this great city. A love for Los Santos.